Uncle Dave.
Hey, good afternoon. I got a new mic stand and I'm working on my technique.
I can't see there behind the bushes.
What?
Yeah, you might have to lower your pop machine there.
Okay, sure. Fine, that's fine. I can do that.
You do sound good, though, I gotta say.
Thanks. I've read up on there. That's what they tell you in microphone class. And then you... Okay.
Microphone class.
Yeah.
I'm going to take one of those. I adjusted some knobs here, though, so hopefully it won't crack. It cracked in the last few videos. What I want to do, Dave, this is not sponsored, although we are for sale as a show. Yeah. I want to talk about Cloudflare Workers because on our audio show, we've talked about Cloudflare Workers a whole bunch of times, and it's hard to mouth blog. And that's the point of this show, is I think...
And we get a lot of... the feedback is like mixed, right? It's like, when would I ever use this? Which is a totally valid question. And then there's another one that's like, does it work in IE? And those are the only two questions you ever need to know having a podcast. But yeah, I'm kind of curious what because you're a proponent of workers in general.
I think I kind of am. Workers. At this point, I'm a proponent of workers.
Yeah. And so I want to see what your brain came up with.
Did you see what I did? I just navigated to the Cloudflare dashers, just went to the workers thing and just said, new worker. And it gave me a new worker called Yellow Haze, whatever. Let's call it DaveBot, though.
Love it. Okay.
After you.
Automate me, please. Get me out of this.
Look at this. So now it gave me a URL, davebot.chriscoyer, because whatever, that must be my Cloudflare account name, .workers.dev. And if we just go to it in a browser, oh, look. It returns some crap.
There it is. That's
cool.
it.
So now I got a URL for my worker. I would say that usually you don't. I don't know how people usually use workers, but usually it's like attached to your own domain, though. And we'll look at that in a minute. But you don't have to use it that way. Just like a Lambda. In a Lambda, like AWS, they give you a URL, and you hit that URL, and that's how you interact with the Lambda. And that's how this works too. But because Cloudflare also is like your DNS usually, that you have workers are like, they trigger when you hit a particular route on your own website that you get to pick. And I think that's extra powerful because then you're not dealing with cores and crap, whereas whatever. So, okay, let's just clean up a little bit, shall we? Handle request, if it starts with a, that's kind of interesting, but let's just comment it out for now. Whatever. So what it's doing is it's just fetching a page and returning that. So if we want daverupert.com instead and fetch that and hit this route,
whoa, there it goes.
Now our worker is fetching that page. So certainly you have fetch and it's not, this is just V8 JavaScript, right? It's not even Node. So you don't have to worry about that kind of thing.
So I'm seeing like add event listener fetch, and that reminds me of a service worker, sort of. Is that kind of what's happening there?
I think you have to do that's like the signature of the function. You have to do this. If you don't do it, I think it just it'll be like that's not configured correctly.
So it's when whatever this path is davebot.chriscoyer.workers.dev is fetched, it's then going to respond with handling the request in a different way, which is the function. Okay, cool.
Yeah, right. And you can do anything. You can return. Let's see. I'm going to return a new response instead of just a fetch. Return a new response of like, hey, Dave. Then this will never get hit. Hopefully it isn't mad about that.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Right. So that's cool. So if I did some math, I could, I can do some work at the edge. Const foo equals 1,000 divided by 2 or something. Is that how math works? Hey, Dave, foo. That's 500 now.
Wow.
So I can do work in here, including hit other APIs or whatever I need to do, or get data. Let's say we're going to make a counter app. We just did a video like that was 1, 2, 3, how to do a counter. The counter gets a lot more interesting if it's not just local storage or local state, but it's literally stored in a database somewhere, then you're like, oh, this is actually an application, right? So you'd think, oh, I'll write a Lambda and the Lambda will talk to a Mongo or a Fauna or something, right? But the workers have data too. So you don't need two services. You just can have one, which is kind of compelling, isn't it? So let's just save this for a minute and then look at what that's like. Where do we put this? Like workers, make a new KV. I'm going to call this Dave storage. It's nice to have a friend named Dave here. So there's key values in here. So we could have like in the Discord we were talking about a tracker for like tracking while you're streaming like burps and coughs and farts and stuff.
Yeah.
So let's just do burps for a while. Let's say there's 0 burps. Cool. We just created a key value. Now we have it's not sophisticated data storage. It's not MySQL. It's KV, that's it.
Okay.
So workers, our Dave bot, I think we have to like connect it to a KB somehow. I forget how you do this real quick. Quick edit, logs, settings. Yeah, you have to bind it.
Oh, add a binding.
Right. So we'll call
okay.
To Dave storage. Okay.
Okay.
Save.
Okay.
So now I think we have what we need to like access that value. So if we go back to workers, it's called the Dave bot. We'll hit quick edit, which gives us this editor. And you don't have to use this editor. Of course, you can like deploy it from your own code base properly, but it is pretty cool that they have this. And you get this little like DevTools instance and stuff.
That's actually kind of incredible. I was marveling at that. I was like, how did he get DevTools to open in just one part of his browser? But it's part of the website.
Tell me.
Okay.
I would like to copy this functionality for life, All right, so the KV, though, I think it's just automatically bound. So as long as it's an async function, I can await it. So I can await get, like, what did we call it? Burps, plural. So I'm going to say await burps equals, or I guess, just because JavaScript. Then we just log it quick, maybe, or I'll just respond with burps. It should be 0, right? Preview.
I think it was.
Await.
I think it would be
you
like
have to do it first.
const burps equals await. Yeah.
Const burps equals. Sorry.
Await KV.
Yeah, because that's the async function. Blah, 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 blah.
And then I think it was burps plural in the
KV.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Cool. It's cool. That just feels kind of, look at that. It's magical, right?
Yeah. Wow.
So let's go and mess with that KV value right quick. So I guess I just pick one.
Okay. Workers.
KV.
Workers KV.
Is it manage namespaces? I guess. Dave storage view. I'm going to make it like 100. Can I change it? View? 100. Oh, why can't I edit? 100. Save. Refresh. 100.
Wow. Okay.
So that's so easy to get that data right. And I don't have to, I'm probably never going to manually change the values like that. We could also go await kv dot set burps to 69 burps.
Nice.
And then as I get it, it'll it'll be.
Oh no!
Function. Is it now? It's put. Sorry. Put.
Why not? Way off.
And can I preview it? Yeah. Look. There you go.
Wow.
So you set it, you get it, just like local storage. But guess where this data lives? At the edge of the entire world, at every data center in the entire world. Like this is edge data. This is not just a little local storage thing. As soon as I do this put, it is propagated to the entire world, That's pretty rad.
This is too cool.
A little too cool for school.
Because I don't know, I've done things like I did a little streaming of video games and had like a win-loss tracker,
Yeah.
I mean, you could just do that and you could probably make a button there that sets the key value or something. I would be curious how that works. Like, can you send client code that sets the key value, but
well, of course,
like,
right?
Okay.
So so one thing you could do is like, so we can respond differently depending on different situations, right? So now we know like basically the await. We could say like if the URL actually has like increment on it, then
KV plus
first
or
of all, we're
whatever.
going to need to get it right away, right? So let's get burps, but we might need to change the value. So let's let it. So now we have the burps. And if it's increment, then we, put burps, but it's just burps plus 1.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a bad feeling about this, right? I'm always nervous that whenever I do plus 1, it never handles it right. I just get
when
nervous
everything's
every
a
time
string,
about that.
right?
So
right.
now if we went increment, it's still got to respond with something though. So let's put I guess it's going to respond either way, right? We don't need that crap anymore. Run.
Are you going to that page or are you going? Oh,
I went to /increment. I just hit deploy just to make sure. Yeah. All right. So what should happen in our minds? Like we get the burps, which is 69, no matter what. It should match increment. I guess we could log console.log here or whatever, just to make sure it got there.
Okay.
Clear this, run this. Okay, it's not getting there. So is path name wrong?
I don't think so.
Path name. Run. It's just /.
Oh, do you need to hit like enter on that, not the refresh or something?
Oh, enter. There you go, bud.
Oh,
okay, that's a little tricky.
Well,
hit the return button when you change the URL. Okay, so now it's 69, and now if I hit refresh, will it be 70? Yeah, look, 70,
wow,
71,
we're going
72.
up. We're going up.
Yeah, but it's like real data,
Yeah,
Pretty
that's real data that lives on the internet somewhere. That's like,
right.
That's cool.
And you'd probably not return a response like this. You'd probably do like a JSON.stringify, right? Probably. And then do like burps.
Yeah.
Is burps. So then you really run it and you get that, which is nice because then your fetch, you can call .json on the fetch. Should we try to do that? Let's have a path. Let's have a getter path. So at get, we're going to return this.
Mm-hmm.
But then at increment, we're going to return did the job, success or something.
Mm-hmm.
We don't actually care.
500 or 400 or whatever. Is it
mad at me?
200. Okay. 200.
What did I do wrong here?
Too many parentheses on return new response success, I think.
Thank you. Should have a little prettier thing in here. Okay, the
line
stringify
18
ends, then this ends.
Line 18 there. Up. There you go.
That that's the one that's wrong.
I'm so mad.
Oh, what am I doing wrong? Is this one jacked? So
maybe don't need the. Oh no, that should work.
There is one more. There's one more there, right?
Oh.
Clear.
Yep.
Increment. Okay. So get.
Great success.
Get will be the getter, and increment will just say success because that's what it's going to do. All right, we made a little API. Only we didn't need Express or something.
That's incredible. I'm kind of blown away actually.
This episode of Shop Talk Video is brought to you by Elastic. Elastic is the company that makes a bunch of products all kind of based around Elasticsearch. What is Elasticsearch? Well, it's based on Apache Lucene. It's a database product, free and open source, that's just specialized for search, essentially. Think about MySQL. That technology is free and open source. It's a database technology, but it's good at a certain set of things, and Elasticsearch is a database that's just good at different things, particularly search. Imagine a company that's got lots of text content. It needs to be searched through really accurately with good features and really quickly. That's Elasticsearch all day long. I can't use imagine CodePen, right? There's tons and tons of text documents that need to be searched, millions and millions and millions. We literally can't use MySQL for that. We take that data, we put it in Elasticsearch, and that provides our search product for CodePen. It's vitally important, so important. But what else could you use it for? Well, how about search for literally any text on any website, or put your analytics information in it and make that analytics data fast to get out and use in that way. So that it's not just search. There's other kind of interesting aspects you can use it for. It's super fast indexing. So if you give it text, the time between you giving it to it and it being searchable is super, super fast. It's easy to shard out and disperse. It has a bunch of features that are unique for searching, different operators and stuff on search. It's great. And of course, it's free and open source. Everything Elastic makes is that. So imagine a company like Automatic or whatever. WordPress is open source and all the stuff they do is open source, and then they build a company on top of that. It's really kind of the same model here. So their product is better for it, just like WordPress is in a way. But then like what are the paid products then? Well, just so you know, it's kind of like, well, what if you need hosting? Like if you want to host this thing on your own cloud, yeah, fine, go ahead, whatever. But sometimes it's nice to be able to like get the full feature set from the people who make it and really know what they're doing. Well, why don't you host it on Elastic Cloud? Meaning, they'll make sure that it's hosted properly. If you have questions, there are the people that you ask to see what's up. There's observability and monitoring and alerts and all that kind of stuff that happens, and they'll help you with all that. So that's, I think, high level how you can think about Elastic and Elasticsearch.
You're in a single function too. You're not like creating 200 different route pages and stuff like that. You're just doing one thing.
Let's take a look in the thing where you'd actually attach it though. 'Cause there's a moment where you don't have to, like I said, like you can just hit this URL.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a moment where like if we went to Shop Talk Show or whatever, that with our workers, add route, right? So it would be like https shoptalkshow.com/burp counter, and that's our worker.
Oh, interesting. You know what I mean? Okay.
So like that now /get will return the JSON, but it's not for some reason. Maybe it takes a minute. Or maybe it's not that.
DNS is a popular thing this week. So
yeah. Anyway,
but there's a way. Is sort of the idea here that you're able to.
Right. Or maybe I needed to do. I think I screwed up the thing. Is that it's got to be
use an asterisk
or something, because otherwise it
pattern.
doesn't. It's not matching the route because it wasn't an exact match.
There you go. There you go.
What did I have it? Hey,
there it is. Wow.
So that's dangerous, right? Like you can just wipe out. If we had something on WordPress published at that URL, sorry.
Yeah.
But that's cool, right? Because now our worker is working at our own local URL, so no CORS problems. Right?
Mm-hmm.
But let's say you don't care to do that. You just want to hit theirs. That's something to know, is that you got to do this little like have some headers, and then in the response you got to like blast them out.
Okay.
So like this, you'd put an object and then say headers are CORS headers. So this is just an HTTP like response. You know?
Yeah. Normal fetch, but like.
Right.
Question though. So that scopes it to our website only, or is it you're opening it up to everybody now?
Yeah. Right. And there's ways to get clever, more clever about this.
Because when it's your website, you want to like lock it down, right? So
yeah, right. And I can't speak to that stuff super intelligently, so know that this is just Chris hacking away at something irresponsibly, because now everybody now that everybody has this URL, you could hammer it and make my bill too high and stuff. But obviously, the free tier is pretty generous,
Right. Yeah, that's the secret.
But let's just use our getter real quick. Then now we know burp. So we could make, you could just have like a, whatever. How do you do a fetch?
Fetch from that URL, and then
literally .then, right?
Yeah, you could probably just go const data equals await fetch, or that's like a top level await. But yeah, just do then, and then returns a response, and then you'd be like response.json.
It returns a response, so that you'd have to then do response.json. Because it really is JSON, and then you it again, right? For some reason.
And so then now you have data or JSON, and then you say whatever console.log JSON data. Yeah.
And hopefully it is actual JSON at that point. Oh my God, look at that.
There you go.
That's pretty hot, isn't it? Yeah, man.
I think that's cool. Yeah.
So you could very easily wire up a button that when you click the button,
goes
it would
to
hit
increment,
right?
Mm-hmm.
So I guess we could do that really quick, right? Const button equals get document.get element. I always thought there should be a JavaScript library that just all it did was shorten these stupid things.
You know what I do? I just chuck an ID on it. So button ID BTN or whatever.
Oh yeah.
And then I just say
it's automatically attached to the button, right?
Yeah, it gets a window object from that. And so then you say BTN.
Oh, you don't even have to do window.
No. Yeah. BTN dot.
Yeah. Add event listener. Or you could just make it even more ridiculous. On click equals.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then do you have to say that it's a function?
Yeah, probably. And then you have to say
another fetch, but it'll be increment instead. And then we just have to do nothing because who cares? We all do no error checking whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
Is that going to work?
Yeah, I think it will. So
except for that in console.log, let's have the value of the button be btn.inner HTML equals data.burps, I guess.
Yeah, data.burps. And
it'll
so
just be a number then when it comes back, 89.
That's what we had before, but now you're going to have to do it on the on click. So you may want to just copy paste the response block there. Oh, we're just returning success in our worker. But
but we could change that. So if instead of success, we return the new value of burps instead.
Yeah, just return that thing.
JSON.stringify instead of success.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep. And then just literally copy the then statements. Just copy all that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Copy.
Go down one more. Yeah.
Oh, you need why is it? Can I save it so the prettier will hit? There you go.
There you go. Now just chuck it on your worker there.
So now every time you hit it, it should go out. Oh, man.
What do we do? One more. Yeah. Yeah. And you maybe need one more curly because for the function. Yeah. There you go. All right.
Oh man!
It's going.
It is going.
Yeah, just it's latent because it's
92.
Actually going over the internet and writing to a database of some kind. Wow.
Yeah. So workers, and then we'll look at our namespaces, and we'll look at our Dave storage. Burps 96. I wonder if it's real time here. Like if I click up to 98. Is that real time? No. But that would be above and beyond.
That'd be too
it should
cool.
be 98 when I hit refresh, though.
Hopefully.
Or 99.
Uh-oh, we're off by one error. I don't know.
What did we do?
Let's see.
I don't know.
So we get the data on the poll, and then and it's correct? Oh, are we not?
If I refresh the pen? There's some kind of data mismatch happening here. So if I hit it, it should only call or maybe when I do a get, it's incrementing it too. But no, that's not how we wrote the code. When you do the get, it doesn't increment it because the incrementing only happens if you hit increment. Okay, who cares?
Off by one. We can figure it out. That's weird.
Off by one. But now we have like a pretty a globally available data store, and you can imagine that these don't have to be a counter. This could be a UUID, and this could be the content of an entire blog post. It's just JSON data. We're just barfing it into some account, pretty powerful stuff.
Wow.
Look at how little code it is. I think it's pretty cool.
No, that's really, really pretty sweet. I didn't think it was this easy, to be honest. And I'm actually, it's sort of problematic that you showed me this because now I'm going to want to do stuff with this. So I don't know.
It's limited in some ways. It has to be pretty fast, although they do have like a longer running version of it. But I'm not, I don't know that you can like run Puppeteer in here.
Oh, well.
You know what I mean?
It's I'm out. That's all I want. I'm just running Puppeteer.
I mean, maybe you can. I don't know. But it seems like it's not really meant. It's meant for like quick manipulations. For example, they have this whole like HTML rewriter thing. So you can do the fetch, get the HTML, mess with the HTML, and return the messed with HTML. And the HTML rewriter has like jQuery like syntax. You can easily grab crap and manipulate it before you return it.
Yeah, but even just like how many times have you needed this just for like a API key? Like you just want to go get data from somewhere with an API key, and you don't want to set up a whole environment and junk. Like this is just too cool. It's just too cool. So
anyway, that's really the whole video. Let's go to 100. Go.
Come on.
I clicked you though.
Hey.